Think about the graveyard of your unlived dreams. Think about the conversations you never started, the projects you never launched, the art you never published, and the risks you never took. If you are brutally honest with yourself, what stopped you? Was it a lack of money, a lack of time, or was it something far more insidious? Was it the paralyzing, suffocating fear of what other people might say? We live our lives in a constant, invisible courtroom. We're always on trial, and the jury is made up of neighbors, coworkers, distant relatives, and anonymous strangers on the internet. We twist our personalities, we dilute our ambitions, and we silence our authentic voices just to avoid the possibility of a disapproving glance or a negative comment. We are terrified of being judged. But why? Why do we surrender the absolute steering wheel of our lives to people who do not care about us? People who are just as lost and insecure as we are? Do not click away. For the next 10 minutes, we're going to dismantle the invisible prison of human judgment. We're going to look this ancient fear directly in the eye, break its power over you, and I am going to show you exactly how to become completely untouchable to the opinions of the crowd. To defeat this enemy, you must first understand where it comes from. You are not weak for caring about what other people think. You are simply human. Your fear of judgment is not a character flaw. It is an evolutionary survival mechanism, hardwired deep into your DNA. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, when our ancestors lived in small hunter-gatherer tribes, belonging to the group was not just a matter of psychological comfort. It was a matter of physical survival. If you were arrogant, if you broke the rules, or if the tribe simply didn't like you, you were cast out. And in the harsh, brutal environment of the ancient world, exile was an immediate death sentence. A human being alone in the wild could not hunt, could not defend against predators, and could not survive the winter. To be rejected by the tribe meant absolute destruction. Your brain evolved to treat social rejection as a literal threat to your physical existence. When someone criticizes you today, when someone leaves a mean comment on your post, or when you feel the silent judgment of a room, your primitive brain does not know that you are sitting safely in a modern apartment. Your amygdala fires up, your heart rate increases, and your body floods with cortisol. Your biology reacts exactly as if you are about to be thrown out of the tribe to be eaten by wolves. The fear is ancient, but the environment has completely changed. We are no longer living in tribes of 50 people. We live in a world of billions. If one person or even 1,000 people do not like you, you will not starve. You will not freeze to death. But because we do not consciously override this primitive programming, we allow the phantom ghosts of ancient tribes to dictate our modern lives. To find the ultimate antidote to this biological trap, we must turn to a man who had the power to care about no one's opinion, yet face the judgment of millions. Marcus Aurelius was the emperor of the Roman Empire, the most powerful man on the face of the earth. He commanded vast armies, controlled unimaginable wealth, and literally held the power of life and death over millions of citizens. Every single word he spoke was analyzed, criticized, and judged by the Senate, the military, and the public. He was surrounded by people plotting against him, sycophants trying to manipulate him, and enemies praying for his downfall. Yet amidst the absolute pinnacle of human pressure, Marcus Aurelius maintained a profound, unshakable inner tranquility. How? Because he mastered a philosophical concept that completely neutered the power of external judgment. In his private journal, which we now call Meditations, he wrote a sentence that should be permanently burned into your mind. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Let that sink in. You are the only person who wakes up in your body. You are the only person who knows your struggles, your intentions, and your quiet suffering. You are the one who has to live with the consequences of your choices until the day you die. Why would you ever value the opinion of a spectator in the stands over the experience of the gladiator in the arena? Marcus Aurelius practiced the ultimate Stoic discipline, the dichotomy of control. He understood that you have absolutely zero control over what other people think of you. You cannot control their prejudices, you cannot control their mood, and you cannot control the lens through which they view the world. People do not judge you based on who you actually are. They judge you based on their own unhealed trauma, their own deep-seated insecurities, and their own limited understanding of reality. When someone harshly criticizes you, it is almost never about you. It is a reflection of their own internal chaos. If you try to control the uncontrollable, if you try to constantly adjust your behavior to manage the opinions of everyone around you, you'll become a chaotic, shape-shifting prisoner. You will stand for nothing. You will be a slave to the mob. The Stoic solution is radical detachment. You draw a thick, impenetrable line between your actions and their reactions. You focus 100% of your energy on the only thing you actually control, your own character, your own choices, and your own integrity. If you know in your heart that you are acting with courage, honesty, and virtue, the applause or the boos of the crowd become nothing more than meaningless background noise. We need to make this deeply practical. Knowledge without action is useless. Tomorrow, when you step out into the world, I want you to start actively practicing the art of selective indifference. When you want to wear something that stands out, but that little voice in your head says, "What will they think?" I want you to immediately recognize that voice. That is the primitive caveman brain terrified of the wolves. Acknowledge it. Thank it for trying to keep you safe, and then deliberately wear the outfit anyway. When you have a meeting and you want to share an unpopular idea, but you feel the heat rising in your chest and the fear of looking stupid holding your tongue back, speak. Force the words out of your mouth. Step directly into the fire of social discomfort. And here's what you'll discover. The fire is completely fake. It's a holographic projection created by your own anxiety. When you finally stop hiding and start acting in alignment with your true self, the sky will not fall. The earth will not swallow you up. You might get a weird look. Someone might disagree with you. Someone might even whisper behind your back. But you will realize with a sudden, overwhelming wave of liberation that it simply doesn't matter. The pain of judgment is a phantom. It cannot physically touch you. It cannot pay your bills. It cannot dictate your future. The moment you truly stop caring about the opinions of the masses, you unlock a superpower that makes you incredibly dangerous. You become completely unpredictable to the system. The matrix of society operates by keeping people in line through the fear of shame and the desire for approval. When you sever those two strings, you cut the puppet strings. You are no longer a marionette dancing for the amusement of the crowd. You become a massive, unstoppable force of nature. You can finally start the business that everyone said would fail. You can finally leave the toxic relationship that everyone else thought was perfect. You can finally speak the truth in a room full of people who are terrified of honesty. You become the author of your own destiny, immune to the critics who sit comfortably on the sidelines of life, doing nothing but judging those who actually have the courage to bleed in the arena. But let me issue a severe warning. Freedom from the judgment of others is not a license to become an arrogant, destructive, and selfish tyrant. The Stoics did not ignore the opinions of others so they could be cruel. They ignored the opinions of others so they could be virtuous without interference. When you stop caring about what the crowd thinks, you must immediately transfer that immense responsibility to your own internal judge. Your own conscience must become sharper, more demanding, and more strict than any external critic could ever be. You no longer do the right thing because you want people to praise you. You do the right thing because it is demanded by your own unbreakable code of honor. You build an internal scorecard. At the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, you don't ask, "Did they like me today?" You ask a much harder question. Was I brave today? Was I honest today? Did I act in accordance with my own highest principles? If the answer is yes, you can sleep with the profound peace of a conqueror, even if the entire world is screaming against you. This is the path of the true sovereign individual. You have already learned how to defeat the modern epidemic of distraction and reclaim your time. You have learned how to sit comfortably in the silence of your own solitude and defeat loneliness. And now you have learned to crush the phantom fear of human judgment and step boldly into your authentic self. You are building the walls of your inner citadel higher and stronger every single day. The external world is losing its grip on your mind, but breaking free from the chains is only the first phase of the journey. Once you are standing in an open field, completely free, completely independent, and completely unafraid, you are faced with the most terrifying, monumental question of human existence. What do you do now? Why are you here? What is the driving force that will make you spring out of bed every morning ready to tear through the obstacles of life? We have cleared the smoke, but now we must find the fire. We will unlock the ancient secret to discovering your absolute life purpose and building an unstoppable, meaningful destiny in the next chapter. Until then, hold your ground, guard your space, ignore the noise of the crowd, and relentlessly reclaim your mind. Stand tall in the face of misunderstanding, for the eagles do not concern themselves with the opinions of the sheep in the valley. Every time you choose your own truth over the comfort of conformity, you are casting a vote for your ultimate psychological freedom. You have a duty to your future self to build a life of profound meaning, unburdened by the fragile egos of those around you. The crowd is always moving, always shifting its focus, and always searching for the next distraction to feed its endless hunger. You are the architect of your own character, and you must lay the bricks with absolute precision, regardless of the weather. Let them judge you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them gossip about you. Their opinions are not the oxygen that keeps you alive. You must remember that true strength is forged in the silent moments when no one is watching and no one is cheering. Embrace the friction of being different, because it is exactly that friction that polishes the diamond of your true potential. Let them judge you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them gossip about you. Their opinions are not the oxygen that keeps you alive.